Well, Yvonne Dunleavy, to my knowledge, has the record. She was in Hong Kong to cover the beginning of the Cultural Revolution in 1966, right?
Yes, when I was 12.
Baby.
Step up here, Yvonne, and tell us the story.
Oh my God.
Yes, you love me, and we love you, so it's going to be fun. This is a great story.
Oh, what about the Cultural Revolution?
Yeah.
So I used to work at the Hong Kong Standard, which was in North Point at that time, and there was no tunnel. There was no tunnel, and there was, so you commuted by ferry, and I was living in Tsim Sha Tsui, and for 2 consecutive mornings I was on the Hong Kong side of the ferry wharf, and there was a young man, and he was up in the parapet just sitting there. And Cantonese people, as far as in those days, were very circumspect. Maybe we have a big personality here, but they were kind of shy in those days. And I said, "You've been there 2 days, can I ask you what you're doing?" And he said, "Yes, I'm sitting here in solidarity with the factories." And he's pointing out toward the new territories, I think. And there were 2 satellite cities at that time, I think, Chuan and another one. And within about 2 days...
So these were Red Guards?
Well, they weren't identified as such at that point, and they were not Red Guards in Hong Kong. They were not identified as Red Guards, but they were revolutionaries. And within days, my beat was in front of Government House, and they were very, very, very well organized, and they marched in procession, I'd say, in blocks of like 6 by 10, and everybody was dressed all the same in uniform, white, navy blue, and with red books. And they would stop at the front of Parliament House, and they'd say, "On with Ma Situng, c'est ça, Ma Su?"
One
That's
way.
right. And Datung Dalinji. Down with, I can't remember what his name is, the governor. Thank you. You see that I rely on English.
Down with imperialism.
No, it was the governor at that time, I think. And within days there was like a full-fledged civil war raging in Hong Kong at that time. And trucks would be overturned, buses would be overturned, people who worked for the British government living on the same floor as somebody who was sympathizer with Beijing would be told, "There's a list and you're going to be on it when the maoists come." So there's a lot of intimidation, and it was always understood there were 2 department stores, mainland department stores there. You bought something there, you did not expect change. That was the cause. And people were really conflicted about their allegiances in those days, because they all believed in China, and they were living in a society that was colonial at that point.
So did it appear that the British authorities could be overthrown?
So the streets were full of like demonstrators and rioters, and that each side was claiming brutality from the other. Someone would have bandages with blood, and others would say that's just pig's blood. The Goylos didn't do that to him, and there was
Goylos, right?
Yeah, there was accusations back and forth, and then the Bank of China was playing get out of Hong Kong while you still have boats, ships and planes. I hope nobody's offended by this.
No,
This was history. Get out of Hong Kong while they ship foreigners, because remember Shanghai was coming across from this, and so next door at the, what's it called, Beresford, and there's something else next door. It was the government offices, and they put in
Information Services Department.
What was it, Dong? Dong was working on the paper with me at that time. That house next door that was the government office near the Hiltons. And they just had
Beaconsfield House.
Beaconsfield House. And they had a whole barrage of, and all they could do was play a whole lot of Cantonese opera, which certainly drowned out, its competition for the voices. And
tell us about the Jaguar.
That's Melissa's story. I was driving an E-Type Jaguar in those days. Little journalist.
As one does. As she does.
And what was happening was so protesters were overturning cars. You were in a Volkswagen, probably, you know, it was lethal at that time. 2 or 3 of them were turned over and burned. And I was coming off the car ferry and there was an attempt to turn it over, but I was able to accelerate beyond that. And so there was one little vignette. Some American couple decided to observe the riots, quaint little riots from a rickshaw, and they quickly got turned over and toppled onto the street.
Well, good. So that was a tumultuous time, but you survived
Totally
it?
tumultuous, and then Life magazine. I was carrying some film for Life magazine, and I was chased by a whole lot of protesters, and I ran into the Hilton, which was the Foreign Correspondents Club at that time.
And you survived all
And
these
I
years.
survived, and I'm still only 27.
We're going to go now to Richard Bernstein, who arrived. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yvonne.